Jake Tapper interviewed the governor of North Dakota. His name is Doug Burgum. And the purpose of the interview was to ask him about some, the typical silly things that Donald Trump has to say. Well, Donald Trump claimed in one of his latest rallies that Biden is buying votes with getting welfare for votes, giving welfare for votes, And Burgum comes up and he asks Burgum, hey, do you agree with what Donald Trump is saying, that he's buying votes? And in effect, he said, is he trying to buy your 100,000? Remember, North Dakota is a small state. Is he trying to buy your 100,000 people that are on welfare in your state? And, well, Burgum gave an answer. Burgum made it clear that, he thinks that when Biden is given student loan deferrals or student loans forgiveness, etc., that what he's doing, he's buying votes, and that's what he's doing. And, he gave the whole rant that plutocrats and the right wing always give whenever you try to give the right kind of aid to people. So Jake Tapper wasn't done there. But I tell you what, let's go ahead and listen to that interview. And then there are quite a bit that I want to say about it, because Burgum shows that this country is still being run by plutocrats, has the ideology of plutocrats at the expense of the average American citizen. Listen to this and we'll take it on the other side.
The New York Times reported that last night Mr. Trump said that some Americans get, quote, welfare to vote. Is that how you see the electorate? You have, I think, more than 100,000 North Dakotans on Medicaid. Are they getting welfare to vote?
No, and I don't think that's the intention that he meant when he said that. But I mean, I do think that what we have here is when Joe Biden, he can't campaign on, his open border policies. 2016, that was about immigration. Now it's about national security and public safety. And open borders is something the majority of Americans are very concerned about. Inflation touches every single American. The wars that are breaking out around the world. So, in places where President Trump had success, Joe Biden's having failure. Where President Trump was strong, Joe Biden's been weak. And so that's what people are actually thinking about. But then you throw on top of things like the student loan debt, and you start trying to give away hundreds of billions of dollars of taxpayer money. And it's like we're borrowing to give it away. It's not tax and spend, it's borrow from the Chinese and give it away. When you see those citizens understand, those are like pre-election payoffs. Those are like, hey, folks, please vote for us because we're relieving your debt. So at what point does it cross over programs like student debt to just vote buying? And I think, again, the people that are working hard and are paying off their debts and aren't getting loan relief are saying, hey, this just isn't fair. In America, people want things to be fair, not unfair. And I think it's clear that there's vote buying going on at a scale like we've never seen before.
Does that offend you more than Donald Trump telling a room full of donors, wealthy people, millionaires, billionaires, that he's going to cut their taxes? Is that buying votes any different?
Well, first of all, I just reject the whole premise of this idea of wealthy donors. I mean, the room of people that were there yesterday are all people that were job creators. These are Americans that took risks that
So they're not wealthy?
Sometimes risk everything they had to start a business. Well, they're wealthy now because the American system of capitalism, worked for them to create jobs, to help them build their communities. These are among the most generous people in the country. They're the ones that are giving back to philanthropic efforts and building strong communities. They care about their kids and their grandkids. Because they've been successful and because they've worked hard is not somehow that they should be disparaged. This is what we should be celebrating them. These people represent the American dream. And part of the way the American dream works is when we have low taxes and low regulation. And Joe Biden he's proposing the largest tax increase in the history of America and proud of it.
Now, here's the deal. First of all, he claims that student loans are somehow a giveaway. Let's be clear here. In as much as when I went to school, I took out student loans. I paid it all back out of my pocket, of course. Now, I must say that at the time that I went to school, it's much different than the kids going to school today. They're ripping the kids off right now with the increase in costs in schools as corporations are paying less taxes. So in as much as I don't think it was fair either when I paid my loan off. I am all for making things right. Pay off the student loans of all the other students. Let me tell you why. These students invested in getting educated and then going to an employer who took advantage of that education that they paid for. And many of them had to borrow the money that these same companies have investments in financial companies who are there loaning the money. What I'm saying is the vicious cycle is as follows. Corporations have government cut their taxes, including taxes for universities, etc. The students have to pay more to go to college. When they get out of college, they owe all this money to corporations. When they go and work for these corporations get an educated person that somebody else educated, either a scholarship or the student themselves or a loan. And if they happen to have gotten a loan, these corporations, many of them have investments that are profiting from the loans that they gave the people to be educated so that they can come back and work for the company. It's a circular loop of theft, legal theft. So I am absolutely for paying off all student loans, all trade schools loans, etc. I think we should have a society that educates people, and we can afford it because our corporations are benefiting from the work resources of all of us. But that's another story. Burgum then talked about the job creators. When Tapper asks him about, well, wait a minute, Donald Trump says to a bunch of rich cats in there with him that he is going to give them a huge tax cut. Isn't that buying votes for the tax cut? Oh, no, but Doug Burgum takes exception to that. Those guys are job creators. Really? Who are really the job creators? These businessmen that know how to move paper around. The biggest fallacy we have in this country is that somehow the corporate executive is a job creator. You know who are job creators? I want every single person listening to me this very minute to look in the mirror. You are the job creator. You are the one that creates demand. And when you create demand, there is a supply that needs to be met. And somebody who has capital, or even you yourself, may go ahead and satisfy that demand. If these executives have no inherent power, inherent knowledge, they look at Bezos. Look at what Bezos built. Bezos didn't build that. I'm with Obama, even though Obama kind of walked it back. Bezos did not build that. Bill Gates did not build that. Berkshire Hathaway did not build that. The truth of the matter is collectively, we all did it. We may have some people that had a vision to do something, but a vision is only a vision without the people to fulfill that vision. And if you have a vision and you cannot fulfill it, it's an unfulfilled vision. We have to let people start realizing what is their worth. I have invented things myself. And do you think I sit back and say, well, X, Y, and Z corporation is dependent on the invention that I had, and the invention that I have, I should forever capitalize in it and make a lot of money? I could have patented it, but I didn't. And you know what? I don't believe in that system. That system is a fraudulent system that allows many, or allows a few, to profit on the backs of many. Every single appreciation of stock that you're looking at in this country right now, you are a piece of that action that you don't participate in. You are responsible for building that, and you don't get any recompense for that. You are the one building these things. America, the average American citizen, it's the one responsible for the success of this country. And they would have you believe that what's the name of the guy who now is doing rockets, right? Tesla's the person who created Tesla. No, he is not the person who created those things. We've been sending things up into space with computers less powerful than my phone. We've been putting orbital flights. They've just gotten to orbit. Just now, the private company has been able to get to orbit. We've been doing that for a long time. We went to the moon. We've sent things to Mars. Don't buy the game. The game is a keep telling you, these are the job creators. These are the job creators. The executives are the ones that make things happen. The executives are the ones that make things happen. The visionaries are the ones that make things happen. And they keep telling you that, and you start to believe those things, and you lose your worth for all your work. You lose your worth for all your work. So let's wake up, people. Let's stop believing the crap about the job creators and who creates innovation. Let me give you one little thing before we go here. They like to talk about who the job creators are and why they must continue to receive their inordinate profits, because if they stop getting those profits, there's no more incentive to create. But let's be clear here. The people that get very rich, let's look at all the billionaires. Musk. Let's look at all the billionaires. Gates. Let's look at all the billionaires. Even Trump. What do these guys do? They employ people to innovate, and they pay the people to innovate a salary. And that salary does not encompass the inordinate amount of profit. It's they who get the profit, but the innovation didn't come from them. The innovation came from the salaried employee. The innovation came from the hourly employee. How then do you accept what Burgum just said? These are the job creators. No, the innovators are the one who create the ability for you to create jobs. And you create jobs by your spending. You create jobs by your consumption. Let's learn together and understand how things really work. We have been hoodwinked for decades. We've been hoodwinked for centuries. And until we wake up and understand that the system depends on us being dumb, and that one of the reasons they want to burn books, and one of the reasons they don't want you to learn all these things is because one of the reasons they want to get rid of TikTok is that an educated population is a dangerous population for the plutocracy. It's a dangerous population for the small people who are in control of our system. Wake up, be woke.
We spend a lot of time deconstructing the news, trying to parse it into a form that everybody can understand. We try to find those little nitpicks where it flies above the fray, etc. If you really like these videos that we do, I want to ask a big favor. Please go ahead, number 1, subscribe to our channel, and number 2, please join if you can. Thank you so kindly for watching. Keep watching. Please remember to share. We must populate the entire internet with our progressive message, a message that we know is what most Americans say that they want. So help us, please join.